Alright, the first deck of the day is this US-UK ramp deck by a viewer. The Devil is a Handsome Man. He shared me this deck list last week, and I said I'd play it on stream the next time I had the opportunity. So this is the first deck we're going to play today. It's a mostly, I guess you would say, air-focused ramp deck. So, you know, pretty pretty standard cards that you'd see in most ramp lists with these two nations, but he's got a little bit more focus, I guess, on some. He's devoted some more slots to air units, including the not often seen P61 Black Widow, which I'm kind of interested to see how well it does in a deck like this. I know, speaking from personal experience, I usually don't throw B-17s, Avengers, and Corsairs in the same deck, just because I feel like Corsairs are often just get hosed a little bit too hard by like retreat effects and such, and they're just a little bit too slow against aggro because they don't aggro in mid range because they don't impact the board. They come into play, but they are a very good card, and not a lot of people are playing like Panzer fours these days. It seems like when Germany was like really popular and those were everywhere, this seemed like a really bad choice. But not a lot of people are playing them nowadays, so this is probably a fine card because it was already like really very playable anyway. And now that like there's not a lot of those effects, we'll see. I mean, we got a few more interesting effects that can counter this in the new expansion. Like people might be trying out cards like Pursuit and Patrol, which would make this card feel bad, but interested to see how it performs today. The other notable thing about this ramp deck is that it actually only running 3 ramp cards, War Bonds. Though that is a very good ramp card. I mean, it does provide 2 credit slots and an additional card draw for the cost. So it's not running any of the lower end ramp, but I think that's okay. You know, it's just more. You could argue that this is maybe just more of a mid-range deck running a little bit of ramp in it, which is fine. Like it's just, you know, I think it's definitely an arc. It's definitely something I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I think this card by itself, even without a dedicated ramp package, I think this card can still be reasonable, especially if you're running the top end like this that you want to get to quicker, or you just want to operate your units more efficiently. You know, with the extra credits you gain. The only other card I would want to talk about before we jump into some games, this M3A3 Honey here. I'm kind of interested to see how this card performs in a deck that is not running that much card draw. Like we're not even running mobilization in this deck, and so I'm wondering if these are just better as. I'm wondering if this will gain us as much life as a fortification would. To keep us alive against aggro, and if it's not, then how often is the 2/2 body, in addition to whatever life it is gaining us, relevant? My gut instinct is these should just be fortifications, but we're definitely going to try this list as is before we you know, analyze it and think about what could change, what we liked, what we didn't like, what could change, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to leave the list as is since it was submitted. You know, if people want to start submitting me deck lists for them to try, I want to do my best to at least play a few games with the list as is before making changes. So that's what we're going to do today. And yeah, so that's enough preamble. Let's just jump into some games and see how we do. Good morning, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Your boy Rodri and Wurtzu Wax coming in. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for Japan German Burn as well. It's a kind of interesting list. I'm running Feigned Retreat in that list, so we're going to see how that card performs. And I'm also excited because Japan is the last nation I need to get to Field Marshal, so I'm hoping I can do that today. Probably just going to toss all of this back. A lot of people are playing aggressively slanted German decks in this current format, so we need to find ways of dealing with early pressure. Unfortunately, we didn't mulligan into a very decent hand here. So we're just going to hope to run off some 1 and 2 cost cards off the top and hope that we can stabilize. Okay, cool. Yeah. The list that I'm running unfortunately does have a lot of elites and specials in it still, but we'll see if we can't make some suggestions like budget substitutions perhaps. Okay, maybe he's playing a more mid-range deck. Oh, he's playing control. Okay, sure. I'm fine with that getting careless talk. That's probably not trading with more than one card from his deck anyway, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just so we don't like lose tempo here, I'm gonna go ahead and spend resources to kill that. Next turn I'd like to war bonds, and then maybe we can get into high altitude bombing, deal with whatever other pressure he puts out. Looks like he's just like activating a bunch of countermeasures, or at least trying to pretend that he's activating a ton of countermeasures. Yeah, that's kind of an iffy one, right? Do I take a turn off just to ensure he can't start drawing a ton of cards? I think that's what we're supposed to try to do. Especially because this card is like... This card can't kill it the following turn once it moves into the front line. So I think we're just supposed to get rid of... Okay. I don't know what... Alright. Something I want to check real quick, guys. Yeah, I don't have any mission. I completed them last night. Alright. I guess, I don't know. Maybe our opponent's, like, just doesn't like the ramp matchup with his current deck. Like, maybe he just finds it, like, maybe his deck just has a bad ramp matchup, and that's what he figured we were on. Like, he's got a bad USA matchup, you know? Because it looks like he was running, he was German-Britain control, and he was running, like, Lancashire, so he's just like, yeah, my big, bulky infantry is just going to lose to US bombers, so maybe he just didn't want to fight that matchup. Or maybe he had to go, honestly, just... Yeah, you could check out the deck list here to get a sense of... better sense of the number of destruction effects we're running and such. Oops, I thought I clicked that. Yeah, well, like I said, when we get to the German burn deck, we can think about a little bit more about budget considerations. So maybe I'm supposed to gunship mission that so I can Awoken Giant the following turn. And if he doesn't want to move this forward and give me that opportunity, I have two fine turn 2 plays. This might be a bit aggressive, though, now that I think about it, because he's almost certainly running Katyusha, right? So that's probably not the best use of that. Okay, he's like maybe a tokens or sort of like an aggressive mid-range deck. Now I'll play this to slow down like Alliance or anything else. This can finish this off. When this comes down, Awoken Giant gets it. I might also just finish this off, play this the following turn. We'll see what he does. Do I want to just bounce that? I might want to just bounce that. Nah, let's get the P40 out, I think. Now we know he's not running Alliance, so he's not buffing anything. He's just playing like a value, mid-range. This is kind of why I would really want patrol in my decks rather than the gunship mission, but gunship mission obviously very good against burn decks because of the life gain. I feel like I kind of want to push this back and Awoken Giant this, but that's probably not that great. Do we just double Awoken Giant this? Maybe we... Double Awoken Giant feels bad. So we can draw 2 cards when these do stuff. This, attacking into that, plus something else can... or plus Awoken Giant can finish that off. Ooh, that's not bad too. I think it's a little too late though. This would have been nice on our turn too, because we could have eaten one of his 2/2s and then traded it into the 4/4 and get a sort of 2-for-1. Obviously, he's getting a lot of value off of the destruction effects here. Oh wow, he's got what do we think? A random Soviet infantry is generally going to be worse than a card from the top of his deck, right? So I think we fill his hand 1, 2, 3. We fill his hand with the random infantry and then kill this, and then he's going to lose his next 2 draws. I think that's what we want to do. Oh, we can't do that because this is a guard. Okay, well, that's fine. So he just doesn't get the random infantry then, I guess. Oh, that would have been nice before, but we'll put it out now. He loses a 1/8 guard. Yeah, I would have much preferred he had that in hand than whatever random card he got from the top of his deck. Okay, I was gonna play this, but with that draw... Seems like he's just got a lot of expensive cards in hand because he hasn't been playing... He hasn't had the opportunity to play 2 cards per turn. So he's kind of... behind on tempo, behind on... He's losing cards and he's losing tempo here. Yeah, I think we'll just go ahead, kill that, and just keep up the pressure. Maybe your delay is crazy? I don't know. Refresh the stream, see if that helps. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could bomb this just to ensure that the board is clear. That's probably what I'm supposed to do, you know, with B-17s and Corsairs in hand. It doesn't feel good. I could try to race him, but we'll just play conservatively. Based on what I'm seeing, like, the longer this game goes on, the more favored we are to win. Okay, this is perfect. We're gonna bomb the guard. We're gonna B-17 that guy. And now I feel like we're in a pretty dominant position here. Do we just ignore that tank? Nah, that's stupid, right? Should probably do this. Cool, so far so good. I hate her. Definitely going to keep that in hand. He could be aggressive player. This could be very nice, but it could also end up just being... It's iffy what this ends up doing. It's hard to toss this back though. I think I'm supposed to keep that. That's probably a bit too slow. These are all essentially 6 drops. I don't think I can reasonably keep them in our opener. I think we have to... look for different options. Interesting, okay. So we're playing a discard deck, so we'll lay this guy down. Good chance it just dies. But... yeah, the poor widow. It didn't get a chance to shine. I feel like this card is very good. It just needs... it needs a little something. I'm not sure what that something is, but... So the question is, do we attack? I don't think I'm going to deploy anything. Because I think we're probably going to get... we're probably going to get hit by Careless Talk, or there's a good chance. I don't know that I want to move this up and shoot with it, though. But it's probably right to do that. There's a good chance that this results in a lot of damage over time. But at the same time, it might be right to hold it back and, like, screen for a missing later. But we're mostly an air deck, right? So we don't really care about that. Let's just use our resources for the turn. And, we can evaluate whether or not this was a mistake. I feel like with the little information we have, it's going to be really hard to know. Alright, so now that gives us a window to stick this, and I'll shoot this. Just get, you know, get it off the table. If he wants to eat this, move this up. Awoken Giant finishes it off. If he doesn't do that, Gunship Mission finishes it off. Would have preferred he moved forward, because obviously the card draw is very nice. That's awkward. I think we're gonna search for an answer to that. Ramp a bit. We can push it back with Seaborne Invasion at the very least. Hmm. Wow, that sucks. Well, if he's gonna stay there, is now the time to do this? Okay, well, we'll see if we can race that. I kind of really wanted that card draw, huh? Start with this. Doesn't have any countermeasures. Go with this. Don't want to play that out just yet. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I went too fast. Crap. Oh well. I really wish this would disable while, like, game actions were being taken. I should know better, and I should just slow down, but... We'd have a 4-4 on the field here. And we would be in a much better position to race. We're still in a fine position to race, but... and, you know, he's got a ton of cards in hand, so there's a chance we just lose. Oh, he found 2 comets. That's cool. So we would have won for sure because we would have we'd have him down to 2, but as is, we now have to hope that he makes a mistake. Heck of a draw, but it still might not save us here. We don't have any fast units. We don't have the Hellcat in our deck that we're playing towards. So that's troublesome. Oh, am I supposed to attack or play the honey and hold this up? If I play the honey, it can buy me a turn. But I don't think that's enough versus what this is doing necessarily. Well, we weren't going to draw a card that turn anyway. It's unfortunate that Wolfpack didn't hit our B-17. I feel like our opponent's either like ghosting or like... Yeah, I feel like... You know, all the power to people who want to stream snipe. You know, maybe he still needs to get to FM with Germany. Snipey, no sniper. Yeah, so worth noting, we would have lost anyway, even if I hadn't made that mistake. Like clicking too fast through our turn, because he'd be at 1 HP. So it wouldn't have mattered there. Honestly, the stream snipe might have been pointless if he did snipe. Because, like, the turn where you can kill with double comet, you just bait out the air defense with one, kill the bomber with the other. With all those other fighters in hand, you probably still win. Maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, knowing I have an air defense in hand means you can play around it better and do better. But he probably still wins even if he runs out one of the comets into the air defense that turn, honestly. Who's changed? Should I change my name? I don't care. I don't care if people stream snipe me. Oh, okay. Like, I couldn't care less. If people want to stream snipe, go for it. I think we play the Wildcat here. What is he doing? Is he like ramp OTK? Like one turn KO? Maybe we want to save this then? But this and this is okay? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, go for it. Okay, I think we want to just play back-to-back Blackwatch. Just to kind of take away some of his ramp. Take away his ramping powers. Now we just definitely want to see one of our carpet bombings. Let's see. I think we eat one of these. And then do we air defense plus gunship mission one of these? So if we gunship mission this, it can't trade into one of these. Obviously he can red banner it or something like that. It could be this. Yeah, let's just do this and see what happens. I think we hit him with this, right? From the peeps. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice 7. It was from a lot of people. Whoop! What did I do? Okay. You know what? Let's play out these guys. Because next turn I can actually high altitude bombing his board, and then P with P61 plus this can attack in the same turn. Well, that's rude. I think we just finish this off. Play this and this. I forgot this deck had special delivery in it, so this is essentially taking the place of mobilization, which I think is cool. Too bad we didn't have a honey on the board at the time. I feel like you definitely move that up in this position. I don't really need the life gain. I'd rather just be resource efficient, play this out now. Call it, welcome to the stream. I am still pronouncing that correctly, yeah? That's annoying. But you know what's a good counter to that card? High altitude bombing. So what do we do here? Are we supposed to play out Corsair or just ramp some more? I think I want to ramp some more. I don't want to give him a chance to destroy this when he doesn't have units on the board. Oh no, enemy spotted. I think we actually just play this. Because if he Avengers... oh, I guess he could double Avenger because he has enough resources now. That would be sad. Double Avenger. At least we kill one of them with this. And actually this plus this kills the other one. Bounce you. Kill you. Kill you. Cockatiel. I think I like most of this against a US opponent. Especially if he's playing a more aggressively slanted list. Actually gonna go ahead and get rid of that and move this up. Makes it harder for him to play bombers in the mid to late game if this is out here. I think I'm supposed to just ramp here. Is it this? Don't need or want a special delivery yet. Let's do this. Boy, oh boy. Would really like a thingy there. I wonder if it's worth trying to draw for. Might actually be worth drawing for, but then I lose the air defense, which is really good against this. Yeah, I don't think we need to be overly aggressive. I think we'll just do this and this. Actually, I think I'll just play out one of these two. Yeah, sure. What do? I gotta type in perm. Actually, I think the links just work. So go ahead and give it a shot. You know what? I'll use this then. I'll just finish this off. It doesn't feel good to finish off the 2/3 ones with Death from Above, but he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. We all have we have all these destruction effects, so this is what I was hoping for that turn, that he had those 3 units in the support line. That would have been very, very good. Can't play 2 things out next turn. I think we just chill. Yeah, he's ramping. Could play these 2. Problem is, I could start falling behind on board. High altitude bombing might not be great in that case then. Yeah, maybe I just do this. Play it safe. Sure, now I get the Awoken Giant. I needed that far, far earlier. I think I just passed here. I probably was supposed to just play the B-17 there. I think ramping was a mistake. Okay, he didn't do anything with his turn, though. I could just do this, I suppose. I think it's right to hit him and use this and save these effects for future problem cards. It's unfortunate we can't also play a Grenadier Guards out here. This also prevents him from using a Panzer IV to bring this back in hand and redeploying it, which I definitely don't want. What's better, the #1 Commando or the Wildcat? I think it's the Commando, because we haven't seen strategic bombing from him yet, I don't believe. I'd rather have a Wildcat. I'd rather have this die than a Wildcat die. Okay, now I think we're in a pretty good position. We get punished with this if he has Torpedo. I'm not putting him on that card. It's rarely seen. Our opponent's not getting lucky hits, and what's better, what's really good for us is that these don't die to his Avengers now. I mean, he only has one left, but still. I guess they're in strategic bombing range, but... Yeah, I still think 34th is good, it's just not broken. And it will be neat if the devs start adding self-mill cards to the game to make it even more interesting. I guess we'll just play out our stuff on curve. We'll go 1, 2, 3. I agree. The card definitely is not nearly as strong as it was, but it's probably for the best. Definitely a shame. Never lucky. Never lucky. I'm sure this is about to get like, this'll kill this, and he'll finish it off with AWOKEN GIANT, but I feel like we still have to try to take this off the table like this. High altitude bombing, please? No. Oh, I guess I should have done this in the other order, huh? Oh well. I mean, if we didn't hit the 33% chance in that one, on that one turn, we'd be okay. High altitude bombing would be fine. Yeah, like so. I think we just gotta do this. You know what's really good after an opponent hits Seaborne Invasion? When you do your own Seaborne Invasion. Ah, they hit better cards than we did. I think I'll just kill this actually. So we know he has the guard. Mm-hmm. Six, 5, 4, that doesn't do it. It's an interesting trade. Actually, just gonna get rid of this. Yeah, it was dead to that anyway. This might seem like a weird play, but if he plays Avenger, I want to be able to hit it twice with this and finish it off with 101st Airborne because we don't have a clean answer to an Avenger right now. Obviously, DiggyDong470, thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream and really appreciate your support. Okay, well that's super bad. That is super, super bad. I think we'll play out these two. Well, thanks for checking out the YouTube channel. Glad to see that you could make a stream at some point. Yeah, that's probably gonna do it. Well, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I'll definitely take this trade. I wonder if he'll commit more to the board here. You know what would have been nice? Air defense. Ah, okay. GG, we're dead. Or we're likely dead. Okay. Kinda have to hope his leftovers are crap, though. This is a very good card. I think I'd want this card somewhere in this list. Cool, cool. Let's do one more with this. Yeah, overall, I like what this list is doing. We'll take a closer look at it after this game and talk about potential changes. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you want it. I feel like you need. Maybe not. Need is probably not the right word. I feel like I really like War Bonds because it lets us get up to our Avengers and such quickly, which can really like create huge tempo swings against other mid-range decks. But I don't think it's completely insane to cut those cards. I do think it might be insane to keep one of them in the opener, though, against El Alamein. Based on this current meta, but... Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the problem with it being the only ramp card, right? Typically, you want to pair it with either war production or the engineers, so you can play it on turn 4. And I think that's one of the changes we're going to talk about in at the end of this set. Or that's one of the potential changes we're going to talk about at the end of the set. I don't know if this is worth... Even if he plays like a 1-cost ramp unit, moves it to the front line, and tries to hit the HQ, I'm not even sure this is worth spending on that, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, got a whole lot of nothing going on. I think, yeah. I feel like I would want a couple of those, a couple more ramp cards in this list. But we'll see. Well, that's great to see. Take away 2 of your cards, make other things in your hand terrible. Honestly, one of the scariest elites he could have gotten from that Africa core is, well, that's awkward. That's awkward. One of the worst things he could have gotten from that is Comet, and this checks that. Leopold's not even that scary, honestly. Oh, that's just lovely. We're playing a resistance player, too. I really don't want to discard that when I know he has Comet in hand. And I want to save it for like killing something bigger. That could have been better. Yep, that's really sad that we got such a bad pull from those cards. Probably just has another liberation. Well, no liberation means we're going to try to get this war bonds to work again. Problem is we still have Leopold to contend with. Big bucks, no Leo. It's only got 10 cards left. He very likely does have Leo. He showed us missing before. I don't think I'm supposed to move this forward. Oh shit, this just eats this. Crap. Oh well. I was thinking of just playing high altitude bombing on this, but it seemed like a waste. I should have just played this out. Probably. Maybe not necessarily. Pretty silly card. Alright, now there's 3 lethal threats. Alright. Well, I guess that's where we'll end that set. So let's look at this deck a little bit more closely and think about changes we'd like to make and whatnot. Special delivery felt great, I think, overall, despite, you know, we didn't have that many things to discard to it in most cases. Trying to hold up an air defense with it felt awkward, but outside of that, it wasn't too bad. Because most of the stuff you either play out in the early stages before you're ready to special delivery, or you just don't care about it because it's not the correct matchup for it. Like, we discard Awoken Giants that don't get used. It's not that bad, you know? Definitely a card I want to try to play with more. I'm not 100% sold on the honeys in this deck. They're probably just better as fortification most of the time, honestly. But, I don't know. I'd play around with this more and see how it felt. Because, again, maybe the 2/2 body plus whatever life gain we do get from it is fine. I don't know that I like gunship missions over patrol, however. I feel like some number of patrol is correct, not only because it can hit both frontline and support line, unlike gunship mission, but because of the added utility of getting rid of pesky guard or destruction effects when needed. Yeah, so that's I'd probably take these 2 out and put these 2 in. And I do feel like I'd want some number of additional ramp cards other than these war bonds, just so that we can war bonds on turn 4 more consistently. It's also nice, especially with cards like Blackwatch and P40. War machining on 2 and then playing these on 3 can really slow down certain decks. So this for aggro and this for mid-ranger aggro, really, and this for other more controlling decks, or just even other ramp decks to like get them off their war bonds on turn 4 or 5. So I feel like I'd want the War Machine in here, which does mean that we're most likely having to trim some of our top end. Like we saw in that last game, we just kind of had a lot of our hand just got clunked up. And obviously we ended up winning out in the end anyway, and it wasn't that big of a deal, despite the fact that they were a resistance player. So I don't know. I think the Black Widow just like wasn't that impressive. I feel like this would be something I would cut in favor of something else. Would have to play more games with Corsair to decide whether or not I liked it. I feel like if more people implement patrol into their strategies, this is just a bad card. So yeah, I don't know. Those are some of the things I'm thinking about here. I feel like I'd want some number of War Machine. I'd want some number of patrol in this deck. And if it's not War Machine, then it's some other ramp card, and maybe we don't care about, we don't care that much if Blackwatch is coming down a turn earlier. I do think Blackwatch is a fine card to have in the deck overall, though. Yeah, but overall, this was a reasonable build. It's actually not too different from the, from the US-UK ramp deck that I had built, that I was looking to... oh yeah, I feel like I like some number of Hellcats in it as well, even if it means we're going off theme a little bit. This card is just so good for helping close out games. And in a ramp deck especially, where the 5 resources to play it and operate it in the same turn aren't that big of a deal, it can act as a removal in a lot of situations as well. I just really, really like this card. I feel like I want this card in most of my US decks, but yeah. So this is something. I'll take the ideas, the lessons we learned from that deck, and apply it to this, and we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with. So yeah, that is it for that deck. We're gonna move on